Yo, this is Tanya Stevens, and this is one of my boom tunes.
Have you ever stopped to think what make a girl cheat? Have you ever asked her if she like how you do it? You need to check yourself before you start kiss your teeth. You're not ready for this yet.
Well, music was always a part of my life. Growing up, music was around the house. That's how we communicated with our mother. I grew up hearing my older siblings speak to her in song. For example, I remember clearly one time my big sister wanted to go out to a party, and my mother said no. And she started throwing words at her with song, long time, me no have no nice time. And that's how really music got infused in my life. And I started going to dances. I came through the sound system. I didn't come through the church. I didn't come through these methods or the avenues other artists did. I came through sound system, singing on the sound, chanting with the man, them fight, grab the mic, give me this boy. I do not know what I would do if I wasn't doing music. Everything I've ever thought of doing or felt like doing, I tried. But as far as a focus or a primary focus, it would have to be something that enables me to be very social. I would want to be hands-on with people. I would want to be in front of people. It would have to be something that incorporates a lot of psychology because I really do love these elements of my job. But I can't tell what it would be. This song, You're Not Ready for This Yet, was produced by Dave Kelly and put on the Joyride rhythm. And when Dave said he wanted me to go on the rhythm, it's so funny when everybody told me, well, when you go at Dave, Dave don't make you leave with the rhythm, and Dave don't make you do this, and Dave don't make you write, so I went prepared for him to give me a finished song, and I was just gonna sing it, and that would have been fine because it meant less work for me. But when I went, he made me listen to the rhythm, and he said I wanted to come up with something, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like the Dave they described, because everybody said he was like draconian and authoritarian, and then he was like, yo, I want to hear your vibe on the rhythm. And I was like, but I don't have anything. And he was like, bring home the rhythm. Again, another myth busted. And I brought home the rhythm and I listened to it. And I just couldn't, because Joyride has a different swing. It landed different. The count was different. And I just couldn't click with it. So I came back the next day and I was like, Dave, me really can't come up with nothing. And he said, but you want on the rhythm, I want Tanya, I want to hear what you think, what you feel. All right. What would you say on the rhythm if you could have come up with something? And I was like, well, I don't want to tell the man them say they know all that. But I want to tell the man them say. And him start laugh and he was like, what you mean by they know all that? I'm like, well, me hear every man a brag about their libido. Me hear man a brag about how long they can go, and then me meet them and I see no evidence of any of this. And it was like, so basically I said it already. I'm like, you're definitely right. Them not ready. And that was how it came. Dave actually penned it, and he had me giving him my inspiration, giving him my thoughts, my feelings, and he put it into words that I couldn't. And that's how that song came about. And this song was the first one that really introduced me to the rest of the world.
Boy, have you ever wondered where make a girl come? A woman must be satisfied before you say you're done. You can't say a thing if you end up a get fun. You're not ready for this yet, boy. You're a little fool, I say I am rule the world. And with my bum scary and I sleep over world. Get your act together before you look another girl. You're not ready for this yet, boy.
I was very happy and grateful, but I kind of lost a lot of my life. So it is bittersweet because even though it was success. And that's what every artist dreams of. And I wanted it and I was grateful for it. But at the same time, I really wanted my simple life back. I wanted to walk down the street without anybody giving two hoots. I want to be the same as everybody else without people acting like it's different. Because, Tanya before popularity could go to the bar and have a drink. Tanya after, everybody's looking at the same one drink and saying, oh my God, she's such a rumhead. One drink. So that's how it changed my life. For some good and some not so good. Well, when you're working with Dave Kelly, you only need one producer because he pretty much covers it. Man, I was surprised that so many people took to it, and especially the men, because the first few men who heard it were like, yo, the girl a man bashan, the girl I don't like man. But generally speaking, the men gravitated to it, and I think many of them took it as a symbol, like liking it as a symbol of their comfort or their security, their confidence. And if they were comfortable with the song and happy with it, it meant it didn't apply to them. So it went over well. Commercially, my life changed a lot. But personally, my life didn't. I've never allowed anything to change my life except my own growth and exposure. So nothing really changed for me personally. I never know what's coming next. And I like that. I don't want to know what's around the corner. There was a time when I did music for survival, commercially, economically. Now I do music for survival, emotionally, psychologically, because I'm fully addicted. So I will always be doing something music.
The virtual Reggae Sunsplash 2020 is presented by Visa and the Jamaica Tourist Board, along with main sponsors KFC, Flow, Rumba Rum, Dragon, Betco, I Create Institute, and associate sponsors GMAC, Clear Sounds Production Services, Kaboom Nation, Progressive Grocers, Abba Water, and Carib Vox.